Hello and welcome, witchy friends. I'm Emma from eclecticwitchcraft.com, and today we are going to discuss how to interpret major arcana combinations with the full tarot card. In this article, we will explore the full and major arcane combinations from the tarot card deck. We will also examine how each combination relates to life and why knowing the meaning behind these combinations matters. The Fool is the first card of the major arcana. The meanings behind these combinations will vary depending on which tarot reader you consult, but there are some general themes that tend to come up again and again. One such theme is that the Fool often represents new beginnings or a fresh start in life. This means that when combined with other major arcana cards, the resulting meaning can often have to do with change or transition. For example, if the Fool is drawn alongside the Tower card, it might suggest that someone is going through a period of upheaval or radical change in their life. Another common interpretation for this combination is that it suggests things are about to get chaotic or turned upside down. So if you see the Fool next to the Devil card, beware. It might mean that temptation and excess are on their way into your life. The Fool represents a new beginning. He is an adventurer who believes in the universe. Everything happens for a reason, all things happen according to fate. The Fool does not know what lies ahead, he only knows that he must believe in himself and his power. The Fool is the first of 4 cards in the tarot deck known as the Major Arcana. This card represents the beginning of everything. It is the first step on the journey towards enlightenment. The Fool is a symbol of innocence and purity. He has no past or future, he is just here now. So how does that energy mix with the other Major Arcana cards? Let's find out. What does it mean when I pull 2 full tarot cards together in a light and shadow tarot deck? When 2 full tarot cards are pulled together in a light and shadow tarot deck, it generally symbolizes new beginnings or taking a new path in life. The Fool is often seen as a representation of innocence or naivete, which can suggest that whatever situation the current is facing, they should approach it with fresh eyes and an open mind. This combination can also indicate that the current needs to take some time for themselves to reflect on their current circumstances and make any necessary changes. In terms of our social life, this combination suggests that we may need to start anew with our relationships. We might need to let go of old baggage or grudges in order to move forward. Alternatively, this could be a reminder not to take our loved ones for granted and to appreciate them more. In terms of love life, the Fool combined with another card can suggest that we're about to enter into a new relationship or phase of an existing one. It's important not to strive for perfectionism during this time, instead try to enjoy the process and embrace imperfection. If single, don't hastily jump into any new relationship, rather use this opportunity to get to know yourself better first before bringing someone else into your world. This combination can also mean that you are being too naive in the material world and in the spiritual world. It could represent a dual journey is beginning, both in the material world and the spiritual realm. You may be experiencing some kind of awakening. Be cautious of anyone who tries to take advantage of your innocence. In terms of money, this combination suggests that you may need to be more careful with your finances. Don't make any impulsive purchases and be sure to budget for the future. Finally, in terms of mental health, this tarot combination indicates that it's important to stay positive and have hope even when times are tough. Remember, every situation is temporary and things will eventually get better. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Magician tarot cards together? This card combo means that you have the ability to create your own reality by using your own powers. The Fool represents new starts, and the Magician represents using your own abilities to accomplish your goals. This card combo is about using your own powers to create the kind of future you want for yourself. When the Fool and the Magician appear together, they usually represent 2 opposing forces within you. You may have trouble deciding whether to follow one path or another. In my experience, the Fool represents the part of me that wants to live freely and take risks. He likes to explore new things and try new experiences. He has no boundaries and he doesn't worry too much about consequences. On the other hand, the Magician represents the part of me which is more cautious and concerned about the future. She thinks carefully before making decisions and she worries about what could happen. This combination can also indicate that you should listen to both sides of yourself. When you hear both sides of an argument, you can choose which side to believe in. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the High Priestess tarot cards together? This combination indicates that you are in tune with your intuition and the hidden forces at work in your life. The Fool is all about new beginnings, and the High Priestess is about intuition and hidden knowledge. This combination is about using your intuition to create the life you want. A Fool card can represent the person who is being pulled out of the ordinary world and into the spiritual realm. It can also symbolize a person who is so full of himself that he doesn't realize how much he needs help. He might even need to learn humility. The High Priestess represents the feminine aspect of spirituality. She can show us how to use our intuition and inner wisdom to guide our lives. When the two cards come together, you'll find that the Fool is trying to gain insight into the mysteries of the universe while the High Priestess is helping him understand the role he plays in the greater scheme of things. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Empress tarot cards together? This combination of tarot cards suggests that you are in a period of new beginnings and creative self-expression. The Fool represents new beginnings, while the Empress signifies creativity, fertility, and abundance. Together, these cards suggest that you are entering a phase of your life where you can express yourself creatively and bring new ideas into existence. This is a time to be open to new possibilities and to trust your intuition as you embark on this journey of self-discovery. The Fool and the Empress represent opposite sides of the same coin. The Fool represents the freedom to do whatever we want without worrying about the consequences. The Empress represents the responsibility to make sure that everything goes according to plan. If you pull these two cards together, you will probably feel like you are on the edge of a cliff. You don't know where you stand with regard to the choices you face. But if you keep your eyes open, you will see that there is always a way forward. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Emperor tarot cards together? The Tarot Fool and Emperor combination is a potent one that suggests an individual who is extremely headstrong and determined. This person may be impulsive, but they know what they want and they go after it with everything they have. There is a strong sense of self-confidence here, as well as a willingness to take risks. This individual knows their own worth and are not afraid to put themselves out there. They may also be quite controlling and forceful in their actions, always striving to be in charge. Ultimately, this combination suggests someone who is powerful, assertive, and capable of achieving great things. In the tarot, the Fool represents the potential of every person, while the Emperor represents the actualization of that potential. The Fool is the archetypal child, representing the possibility of being reborn again and again throughout time. The Fool can be interpreted as a symbol of the eternal youthfulness of the soul. He has no fixed identity, he is free to change and grow. The Fool represents the potential of everyone, including ourselves. The Fool takes pleasure in the present moment without worrying about tomorrow. He doesn't care whether he succeeds or fails. The Emperor represents the fulfillment of all this potential. He is strong, confident, and secure. He knows exactly what he wants and he pursues his goals relentlessly. When you pull the Fool and the Emperor together, you may feel like you have reached the peak of your life. There's nothing left for you to accomplish. But remember that the Fool is still young and the Emperor is still growing older. If you look at them from a distance, they appear to be standing still, but they're actually moving toward each other. They are moving towards closing the loop and starting a new one. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Hierophant tarot cards together? The Fool tarot card represents new beginnings, innocence, and pure potential. The Hierophant tarot card represents tradition, conformity, and institutions. When these two cards are pulled together in a reading, it generally indicates that the K-Rent is at a crossroads in their life where they must decide whether to follow their own path or conform to what others expect of them. This can be a difficult decision to make, but ultimately it comes down to which option will bring the most fulfillment and happiness. If the K-Rent is feeling lost or uncertain about which way to go, they would do well to seek advice from someone they trust who can help them weigh their options objectively. Other associated concepts include choice versus fate, freedom versus restriction, and individuality versus conformity. The Fool represents the individual, while the Hierophant represents the collective. Together, they represent the balance between the two sides of our personalities, our individuality and our sociality. When we draw the Fool and the Hierophant together, we can expect to encounter new opportunities and challenges. We can look forward to new experiences and adventures, but we need to keep our feet firmly planted on the ground. If we try to fly too high, we might fall out of touch with reality. We can use this card combination to help us face the real world and deal with the problems that arise in everyday life. It can also show us how to handle situations where we find ourselves caught in the middle of conflicting opinions. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Lover's tarot cards together? When you pull the Fool and the Lover's tarot cards together, it can mean that you are in a new relationship or beginning a new phase in an existing relationship. This is a time of excitement and adventure, but also of uncertainty and vulnerability. You may be feeling head over heels in love, but you are also facing some challenges that require trust and communication. The Fool represents new beginnings, innocence, and spontaneity. The Lovers represent love, passion, and intimacy. Together, these cards suggest that you are embarking on a journey of self-discovery through your relationships. This is a time to open your heart and mind to new experiences and to cultivate deeper connections with those around you. You may need to take some risks during this time period, but if you do so with an open heart and mind, then the rewards will be well worth it. Pay attention to your intuition as it will guide you along the way. Trust your gut instinct when making decisions related to love and romance. If things have been feeling off lately or stalled in some area of your life, this combination can indicate that now is the time to take action and inject some fresh energy into the situation. The key is to not be afraid to let go of the past and embrace change. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Chariot tarot cards together? The Fool and the Chariot tarot cards together can symbolize a journey of self-discovery. The Fool suggests new beginnings, while the Chariot represents movement and forward momentum. This combination can represent a time of great change and growth as you embark on a new journey of exploration. The Chariot can also suggest that you will be challenged and tested along the way, but if you stay focused and stay the course, you will ultimately triumph. When you pull the Fool and the Chariot tarot cards together in a reading, it can mean that you are about to embark on a journey through life. This journey may be physical, such as moving to a new city or starting a new job. Alternatively, it could be an inner journey of self-discovery and growth. The Fool represents innocence and new beginnings, while the Chariot represents determination and willpower. Together, these two cards suggest that you have the potential to achieve great things if you stay focused and stay true to yourself. Keywords associated with this combination include journey, transformation, change, and growth. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Strength tarot cards together? The Fool and Strength tarot card combination is all about new beginnings and having the strength to see them through. This combination can represent a time of major change in your life, when you are finally ready to let go of the past and start fresh. It is a time to be brave and follow your heart, even if it means taking some risks. The Fool tells us not to be afraid of change or new experiences, while Strength reminds us that we have the inner strength to handle whatever comes our way. This combination can also indicate a need for balance in your life. The Fool suggests that you may be feeling a bit lost or scattered, while Strength urges you to find your center and stay focused on what is important to you. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Hermit tarot cards together? The Fool and the Hermit tarot cards together can symbolize a need for introspection and solitary reflection. This combination can often suggest that we need to take some time for ourselves, to step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and connect with our innermost thoughts and feelings. The Hermit card in particular indicates that this is a time for us to seek wisdom from within, rather than from external sources. This doesn't mean that we should completely isolate ourselves, but it does mean that we should be careful about who or what we allow into our inner sanctum. We may find ourselves feeling more introverted than usual, preferring quietude and solitude over social interaction. If this is the case, it's important to honor our needs and give ourselves permission to retreat inward when necessary. This tarot combination can also suggest financial difficulties or times of scarcity. The Fool's carefree attitude towards money combined with the Hermit's frugality may indicate that we are not currently in a position to spend lavishly or take risks with our finances. Instead, now is a good time to tighten our belts, save up, and be mindful of our spending. This doesn't have to be a negative thing. By learning how to live with less, we may find that we appreciate the things we do have more deeply. On a spiritual level, the Fool/Hermit pairing can point towards a need for stillness and contemplation. In order to grow spiritually, sometimes it's necessary for us to go within and silence the noisy chatter of our mind. This can be a difficult but worthwhile process, and the Fool/Hermit combination suggests that we are ready to embark on it. Lastly, this tarot combination can represent mental health issues or periods of instability. The Hermit's withdrawal from society combined with the Fool's impulsiveness and disregard for consequences may indicate that we are currently struggling with our mental health. If this is the case, it's important to seek professional help if necessary and to take care of ourselves both physically and emotionally. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune tarot cards together? When you pull the Fool and Wheel of Fortune tarot cards together, it means that you are about to embark on a new journey. The Fool represents new beginnings, while the Wheel of Fortune suggests that this will be a journey full of ups and downs. However, if you remain positive and open-minded, you will eventually reach your destination. This combination can also suggest that it is time to take a risk in order to achieve your goals. For example, if you have been thinking about starting your own business, now would be the time to do it. Trust your instincts and don't be afraid to seize opportunities when they come your way. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Justice tarot cards together? When the Fool and Justice are pulled together in a tarot reading, they represent two opposing forces. On one hand, the Fool represents impulsiveness, recklessness, and a lack of foresight, while Justice represents rational thought, planning, and responsibility. This combination can symbolize the need to strike a balance between these two energies in our lives. If we are too impulsive, we may find ourselves in difficult situations that could have been avoided with some planning. Conversely, if we are too rigid and inflexible in our thinking, we may miss out on opportunities or experiences that could be beneficial for us. Striking a balance between these two energies can help us to live more fulfilling and successful lives. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Hanged Man tarot cards together? When you pull the Fool and the Hanged Man tarot cards together, it means that you are at a crossroads in your life. You may feel like you are stuck in a rut or that you are not sure which path to take. This combination can represent a time of change or transition. It is important to listen to your intuition and trust your gut instinct when making decisions. The Fool reminds us to stay positive and open-minded, even when things seem uncertain. The Hanged Man teaches us about patience and letting go. This card represents sacrifice and rebirth. It is a reminder that sometimes we need to let go of what is comfortable in order to grow into our true selves. Together, these cards encourage us to be courageous and take risks. They remind us that change can be scary, but it can also lead to new opportunities and experiences. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Death tarot cards together? The Fool and Death tarot cards are often seen as a representation of change, transformation, and new beginnings. The Fool card can represent someone who is about to embark on a new journey or venture, while the Death card may symbolize the end of something or the beginning of a new chapter. Together, these two cards can suggest that something is coming to an end in your life so that something new can begin. This could manifest in your personal life, such as a relationship ending so that you can start fresh with someone new. It could also relate to your career, such as leaving a job that no longer fulfills you so that you can find greater meaning in another profession. Whatever area of your life this combination speaks to, know that it is time for a change. Trust that this change will ultimately be for the best and have faith in the unknown path ahead. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Temperance tarot cards together? In a tarot reading, the combination of the Fool and Temperance cards suggests that you need to find balance in your life. The Fool card represents new beginnings, purity, and potential. The Temperance card signifies moderation, patience, and harmony. Together, these two cards suggest that you need to strike a balance between extremes in order to create lasting change or reach your goals. This combination can affect our social life by suggesting that we need to find a middle ground between different groups or people who hold opposing views. It can also show up when we are faced with a choice between two equally attractive options but must be careful not to overindulge. In terms of love relationships, this combination suggests that both partners need to work on communicating openly and compromise where necessary in order to maintain peace and stability within the relationship. On a spiritual level, the Fool/Temperance combo encourages us to seek out equilibrium through practices such as yoga or meditation, which help connect us with our higher selves. This is also a reminder that all things happen in divine timing, so there is no need to force anything. Good things will come when we align ourselves with the flow of universal energy. Finally, this pairing speaks directly to financial matters. Caution must be taken here so as not to tip too far into extravagance or stinginess. Finding a healthy median is key for progress towards abundance and prosperity. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Devil tarot cards together? The tarot combination of the Fool and the Devil can symbolize a range of things depending on the context in which they are pulled. Generally speaking, this pairing suggests that there is some sort of temptation or challenge present in our lives that we must be careful not to succumb to. The Fool card specifically warns against recklessness and acting without thinking things through first, while the Devil represents desires or vices that can lead us astray if we're not careful. This combination could therefore suggest caution is needed in regards to a particular situation or decision we're facing, lest we make a mistake that could have harmful consequences. In terms of more specific areas of life, this tarot combination may suggest warnings about financial recklessness leading to debt, the devil, or becoming ensnared by someone else's negative influences, also represented by the devil. In love relationships, meanwhile, this pairing might indicate temptations to cheat, represented by the devil, or otherwise stray from committed monogamy. Alternatively, it could also suggest obstacles such as infidelity already present in a relationship. On a spiritual level, finally, this tarot combo may point towards challenges related to giving into material possessions/desires instead of focusing on inner growth and development, Fool, or being tempted away from one's true path by outside forces, Devil. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Tower tarot cards together? The Fool and the Tower tarot cards can represent a lot of different things depending on the context in which they are pulled. In general, this combination suggests that there is some sort of upheaval or chaos in your life right now. The Fool represents new beginnings, pure potentiality, and being open to change. The Tower represents crisis, destruction, and disruption. Together, these cards suggest that you are currently facing some sort of challenge or obstacle that is forcing you to change course in your life. This could be something positive like starting a new job or going back to school. Or it could be something negative like losing your job or going through a divorce. Either way, this combination suggests that you need to be prepared for whatever comes next. In terms of social life, the Fool and Tower combo can suggest that you are feeling lost and alone right now. You may feel like you don't fit in with your current group of friends anymore or like nobody understands what you're going through. This is a time when it's important to reach out and connect with people who can relate to what you're going through, even if they're not necessarily part of your normal social circle. These connections will help give you strength as you navigate this difficult time in your life. In terms of love life, the Fool/Tower combo can suggest that recent events have left you feeling scared about commitment, or even just getting close to someone emotionally. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Star tarot cards together? The Fool and the Star tarot cards have very different meanings, but when pulled together, they can indicate that someone is feeling lost and confused. The Fool suggests a lack of direction or purpose, while the Star indicates a need for guidance. This combination can represent a period of transition in your life where you are struggling to find your way. You may feel like you are flailing around in the dark, but if you trust your intuition, represented by the Star, you will eventually find your way. This combination can also suggest that you are yearning for something more in your life, perhaps meaning or fulfillment. The key is to not give up on yourself, even when things seem bleak. Remember that you have the power to create your own destiny. The Fool and the Star can also symbolize hope, new beginnings, and a positive outlook. This combination can also suggest that you are being guided by your intuition or a higher power. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Moon tarot cards together? The Fool and the Moon together are a very interesting combination. They can represent different aspects of our lives, but most notably they point to how we see things versus how things really are. The Fool is all about new beginnings, naivety, and being open to new experiences. However, there is also an element of recklessness present with this card. Meanwhile, the Moon represents the hidden side of things, the subconscious mind, intuition, etc. It's often associated with deception and illusion because what we perceive may not be accurate. So when these two cards come together in a reading, it's important to look at both sides of every situation before making any decisions, especially if those decisions could have long-term consequences, such as starting a new job or relationship. In terms of social life, the Fool and the Moon combination can suggest that we need to be careful about who we trust. We may be easily misled by others if we're not paying attention. This is not to say that everyone is out to get us, but rather that we should use our head as well as our heart when making decisions about friendship and relationships. In love life, this combination suggests that things may not be what they seem. There could be some deception going on behind the scenes. Again, it's important to use caution before getting too emotionally attached or invested in someone or something. Trust your gut instinct and don't let yourself be taken advantage of spiritually or financially. When it comes to money, the Fool and the Moon together can indicate financial instability or even recklessness with spending habits. It would be wise to tread carefully when handling money matters during this time. Save more than you spend and don't take any unnecessary risks, such as gambling. As for mental health, this card combo indicates that there may be some underlying emotional issues at play here which are causing anxiety or depression symptoms surface or worsen. If you've been feeling off lately, consider seeing a therapist who can help you get to the root of these feelings and start working through them in a healthy way. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Sun tarot cards together? When you pull the Fool and the Sun tarot cards together, it means that you are about to embark on a new journey in life. This can be a physical journey, such as moving to a new city or starting a new job. It can also be an emotional journey, such as healing from heartbreak or working through trauma. Whatever form this journey takes, it will likely be filled with challenges and growth opportunities. The Fool represents your inner child who is always seeking adventure. The Sun represents your higher self, which shines down upon you with guidance and support. Together, these two cards signify that now is the time to take some risks and step outside of your comfort zone. Trust that your intuition will lead the way and know that you have all the tools within you to make this transition successfully. This combination can also imply that there is something very important happening in your social life right now. It could be that you are meeting someone new who will have a big impact on your life, or that you are finally ready to let go of old relationships that no longer serve you. Be open to whatever comes your way and know that this is a time of positive change. In terms of love, the Fool and Sun combination suggests that you are about to experience some major growth in this area of your life. If you are single, it is possible that you will meet someone special who completely changes your outlook on love. If you are in a relationship, this can be a time when things really start to click and move to the next level. Trust your intuition and don't be afraid to take some risks when it comes to love. This tarot combination can also indicate good news regarding finances. It is possible that you will come into some money unexpectedly or make a major financial breakthrough in regards to debt or investments. Whatever form it takes, know that this is a positive time for increasing abundance in your life. The key is not to get too attached to material possessions but rather use them as tools to help support your overall well-being and happiness. Finally, the Fool and Sun together signify that your mental health is likely to be good during this time. This is a great combination for putting worries and stressors into perspective. If you have been dealing with anxiety or depression, this can be a turning point where you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Trust that things are working out in your favor and take some time for self-care and relaxation. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the Judgment tarot cards together? This tarot combination can signify a new beginning or a fresh start. The Fool card represents new beginnings, naivete, and spontaneity. The Judgment card indicates reflection, evaluation, and rebirth. Together, these cards suggest that you are embarking on a new journey or starting anew after some introspection and self-evaluation. This can be an exciting time full of possibilities but also comes with some risks. Be sure to think things through before taking any leaps of faith and trust your intuition as you forge ahead into the unknown. In terms of social life, this tarot combination suggests that you may be meeting new people or reconnecting with old friends during this period of change in your life. You may find yourself being more open-minded and spontaneous in your interactions, which could lead to some fun experiences, and maybe even some wild stories. However, be careful not to come across as too gullible or naive. Know when to say no if something doesn't feel right. When it comes to love life, the Fool/Judgment combo can represent both positive developments, such as finding true love, as well as challenges, such as having to let go of someone you care for. If you're single, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. This is a great time for meeting someone special who will sweep you off your feet. If you're in a relationship already, though, beware of making impulsive decisions. Take the time to really think things through before acting on anything rashly, no matter how tempting it may be. Trust your gut instinct above all else. This tarot combination can also have an impact on your spiritual life. The Fool card reminds us to stay open-minded and not get too caught up in rigid beliefs, while the Judgment card encourages us to take time for reflection and introspection. This is a good time for trying out new things spiritually or revisiting old beliefs with fresh eyes. However, be cautious of being drawn in by false promises. Use your intuition to discern what is true and authentic. Finally, the Fool/Judgment cards can also offer insights into our finances. On the one hand, this combo suggests that you may be taking some risks financially, which could pay off handsomely if everything goes according to plan. But beware of impulsive spending during this period. Make sure you think through all purchase decisions carefully before handing over any cash. What does it mean when I pull the Fool and the World tarot cards together? When you pull the Fool and World together in a tarot reading, it usually symbolizes new beginnings, hope, and possibilities. The World is at your feet when these two cards are drawn together. This can be an extremely positive time for socializing, starting a new relationship, or finally putting your foot down and taking that big trip you've always wanted to go on. You may feel like anything is possible right now, and that's because it probably is. On the flip side, however, this carefree attitude could also lead to some reckless decision-making. Be sure to think things through before acting on impulse, as you don't want to wind up regretting anything later on. Other than that small caveat, enjoy this wonderful phase in your life where everything seems within reach. If you found this blog post interesting and informative, please share it with other witches and friends who might enjoy reading it. Thanks for listening.